Aloha and welcome back to Kauai Pharmacy. We're in the inner garden now. This was just a patch of maybe 10 lemongrass plants when we first got the farm about 10 years ago. And this was one of the first areas that we planted out. It was fenced in. And now it is a lush zone of herbal medicine jungle. So anyway, welcome back to our inner garden. I am surrounded by some mint over here, a little bit of comfrey, some black pepper, some rosemary, thyme, grand hibiscus, some Brazilian spinach or shiso spinach, some more comfrey. The lovely papaya canopy above. As you can see, the different levels of permaculture playing out. And I'm going to probably be nibbling throughout the discussion. And today we're going to do some Q&A, some more Q&A. These are questions that come in via email, and they inspire us. Typically we send them back via email, but we're going to start doing this format where we get on and talk about them to share more. So the first question, following a falling/knee injury while hiking in mountains, I've developed serious arthritis in my left knee. Lots of pain daily except while elevating leg. Can anything be done? All right, so let's talk injury for a moment. What happens when we get injured and why do injuries occur? So again, just my opinion and my experience, the knee, an injury is not something that just happens out of nowhere. I like to view it as self-inflicted and obviously also a big, deep lesson typically, depending on the size of the injury. So if I were to interpret this fall and the knee injury that developed serious arthritis, the arthritis was already in the knee before the fall occurred. And that's probably a big reason why the fall occurred. So many of our injuries happen because that optimal level of hydration isn't in place. The lack of watery foods that allow you for that 70 to 80% ratio of water content, high level water content in the body. We're eating a lot of dry foods. The Western diet has so much dry food that is hard to swallow and digest, and we don't drink enough water to digest that. Otherwise, ideally, we're eating more watery foods. So papayas, cucumbers, these watery foods are going to bring just a basic level of hydration into our body, and the knee is going to stay supple and stay hydrated. It cracks, it develops arthritis, it breaks because of the dryness, because of the lack of hydration. This is my opinion. So again, keeping that bone supple. What's the ideal plant for bone, ligament, tendon injuries is the comfrey, right? It's the ideal plant for any of that. We have it in the gardens all over the place because it's ideal all over the gardens, this furry plant. You can see that the doctrines of signature here on the spinal column, looks like a spinal column, really helping with calming the nervous system. So the way the comfrey works, we have a comfrey salve that you can put directly on the knee. That's the most convenient. We have a comfrey hydrosol that you can spray, which is the leaf. The salve is a beeswax, coconut oil, root and leaf ingredients recipe. And then we also have a noni comfrey serum, so that also introduces the noni. I would totally recommend noni for circulation. And then the last one for big healing is that comfrey root powder that we offer, and that comfrey root powder is 100% root. And when you use the root and when you use the comfrey plant, what you learn is this idea of hydration. You start calling in the water, you start calling in the oxygen. Your breath, literally, depending on how much comfrey you're able to utilize, your breath actually shifts into a much deeper place, and you're able to bring more oxygenated blood to the zone to heal it. It's also very alkalizing, so this is pretty radical alkalinity. And with the radical alkalinity, you're going to call in more watery foods, more foods from the garden, more fruits and vegetables. So that's going to help with the arthritis over time. And again, this arthritis issue is any bone, ligament, tendon issue throughout the whole body. People have a lot of arthritis in their hands. Again, that drying effect. So that's what I would recommend. I'd recommend being consistent with your therapy, with your practice, stretching that hammy, stretching the quad, stretching the calves, loosen it up, and continue to lubricate, right? Lubricate the body in a big way. So that comfrey noni serum is going to be great lubrication. We forget as we get older, and even when we're younger and wanting optimal performance out of our body, we want to lubricate these joints consistently. What does that mean? It's like, taking care of your bike or taking care of your car. We are an engine, right? So we want to take care of ourselves inside and out. And so the other way, so I spoke mostly about topical for the knee. Yes, it must also be addressed internally. You must address the alkalinity internally. You must create circulation internally. So the turmeric and the ginger is going to help metabolize. The turmeric is going to help reduce the inflammation. So the curry powder, we have ginger and turmeric in almost all our teas. Our wellness tea is going to be great with the noni leaf, ginger, turmeric, the tulsi for calming the digestive, calming the respiratory, and just bringing more awareness to your actions. Obviously the rest, so you're going to have to call in the rest, and the comfrey will do that. The more comfrey you take, the more horizontal you get. You're certainly required, the comfrey requires a lot of restoration practice. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. And can anything be done? Of course, a lot can be done. Reversing the process, driving the youth process is one that is a practice. And just like the professionalism that you do in your work, or the way you approach your family responsibilities, or your home, the tidiness of your home, that's also the practice that you need to provide to your body as it relates to diet. It needs to be in complete professionalism and complete refinement. Letting go of obviously, if you don't, forgive yourself quickly, but at the same time, as we get older, the refinement required for things like knees and hips. Any acidity, bag of chips goes right into the hips. So right into the knees. It's going to go after your weakness spots, right? Your Achilles. If you already have inflammation, it's going to attack that, because the inflammation is going to create more inflammation. It's why tumors get formed, because acids attract acids and they just inflame. So your knee is a hot spot in the body, and we're going to try and cool it down. But again, the holistic self needs to cool down, and the whole body needs to be addressed holistically. So hopefully that answers your question. I will say it's a lifetime of practice. It's going to take time for a knee injury, depending on how old you are. It's going to take more time internally and externally. Second question we have here. I have type 2 diabetes, sugar and carb-aholic. I also have a fatty liver, belly fat, 70 pounds overweight. Knees are shot and severe neuropathy in both feet. Arthritis in knees and thumbs. What's your suggestions? So 70 pounds overweight. Yeah, so that is painful. That's a lot of pain and suffering. And I applaud you for asking the question. I think you're on the right path. I'm imagining myself with two 35-pound dumbbells right now. So a 35-pound dumbbell and a 35-pound dumbbell, and holding them in my arms, and holding them and not putting them down all day long. And I'm going to go to bed with them. I'm going to sleep with them, in your case, on your belly, right? And I'm going to get out of bed with them when I have to go to the bathroom, or when I have to get a drink of water, or when I got to wake up in the morning for work. And this is very real, right? This is what you're experiencing. And your body will not like that. Your knees, your feet, your hips, everything, your shoulders. The body was not designed to carry 35-pound dumbbells in each hand all the time, 24/7. So we have to do something about this if you want to experience more pleasantness in your life. So the knees, yeah, all of this is a function of just overall being overweight. So let's talk about what we can do. The teas were designed for you. Iced tea in the fridge. Let's start right there. Let's just keep a gallon of iced tea in the fridge, half gallon of iced tea, pitcher of iced tea in the fridge all the time. RT, lemongrass, ginger, turmeric, tulsi, noni leaf. Just drink tea all the time. Nothing else except for good spring water would be ideal. That tea is going to help you alkaline your diet. Remember, like attracts like. Just like you can't eat one chip because it's acidic, just like you can't have one sip of coffee, you're going to want to drink the whole cup. Same thing goes for alkaline foods. When you have radical alkalinity being introduced, like our teas, like our lemongrass and our ginger, that radical alkalinity is going to attract more alkaline foods, more cucumbers, more salads, more fruits, more vegetables. So the key is the diet, right? One of the reasons why we created Kauai Pharmacy was because I personally was 40 pounds heavier than I am right now. And I couldn't intercept my food tendencies, the diet, that the acidity in my system was attracting more acidity. I thought I was being healthy, but the weight, a couple pounds every year, and I was 40 pounds heavier than I am right now. So what these teas are going to do is they're going to help you so much with your diet. And the diet is the key right now. As you work on the diet, you're going to bring in the breath work, you're going to bring in the exercise, you're going to bring in more energy to do the things that are going to help proactively allow you to lose the weight. And you're going to find your balance. And every day, you're not going to worry about losing 70 pounds. You're just going to focus on the progress every day, every moment, right? So remember, every decision we make as it relates to our food, our diet, our rest, it's a fork in the road, and we choose. So if we eat something that's not good for us, we're choosing that fork and we're going down this road, and we don't know that most likely that road, it's going to lead to other decisions. So it's not even necessarily, one chip's not going to bug you, but it's the chip that then attracts the next lifestyle, the next decision. So every decision is going to lead to other decisions. So really important to be, like I said, refined in your choices. And that'll get rid of the arthritis in the knees. Again, the self-love of the oils and the salves on the body, the curry powder for your food, the moringa will bring in the protein if you're looking to eat less in the meat and dairies, the calcium, the moringa for the calcium. So all of our superfoods are going to be great. The honeys, they're all going to be amazing vitality. And then get yourself to the local farmers markets, shop, put the food in a bowl and eat it, right? Whatever you got to do to get that local fruits and vegetables in the body. You got to do the shopping or growing, one or the other. But start again. Our teas will help so much, just simply with iced tea or hot tea, and just slowly but surely. Some days you're not going to want to drink tea. Other days you're going to drink lots of tea. Just stay consistent over time. And when I say over time, for the rest of your life, alkalizing your diet, and you'll find that foundation of alkalinity with our herbal medicine, right, that surrounds me, that foundation of alkalinity will attract more alkalinity, and the weight will begin to fall off. And the herbs are scratching at those carcinogens, they're scratching at those acids and that toxicity. And as they scratch and remove all that toxicity in the body, you're going to lose a lot of weight. You'll start to get more flexibility in your limbs, and your joints will become much more hydrated and lubricated. So hopefully that answers your question. I wish you the best of luck, and I really appreciate that question. And just stay with it. Don't put too much pressure on the end goal. Just consistency over time is where you want to focus on, the practice.